Welcome back to my channel, guys. In today's video, we're continuing what if the Byakugan was in Jujutsu Kaisen. Just as always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to let me know you want to see more videos, just like this one. Before we start, I just wanted to explain, I named the character Yuto because I thought it would be funny if there was a parallel to Yuta and Rika, that being Yuto and Rico. It might get confusing, but what can you do? I was considering on killing Rico and turn her into a cursed spirit, but I decided that it would be kind of cool if Rico were to live. However, in this timeline, Suguru still becomes a villain because of Yu Haibara's death. Now with that being said, let's start this episode of What If the Byakugan was in Jujutsu Kaisen. The sound of laughter echoed down the empty hallway. Not joyful laughter, not friendly laughter. The kind that fed on silence. Yuta Okotsu stood with his back against the lockers, shoulders hunched, fingers clenched tightly around the strap of his bag. His eyes stayed glued to the floor as three older boys circled him like scavengers. "Hey Okatsu," one of them sneered. "You spacing out again?" Another leaned closer, grinning. "You really are creepy. You know that? Always mumbling to yourself." I'm sorry," Yuta said quietly. "I'll move." His voice trembled. It always did. The third boy scoffed. "Don't pretend you didn't hear us. You think saying sorry fixes everything?" Yuta flinched as someone shoved his shoulder. His bag slipped from his grasp and hit the floor with a dull thud. Paper scattered everywhere. "I'll clean it up," he said quickly, dropping to his knees. "Please just..." And then the laughter grew louder. "Look at him," one boy laughed. "Pathetic." And then something shifted, and the air grew cold. The hallway lights flickered. Yuta Akotsu froze, fingers trembling as they hovered above his scattered papers. "Rika," he whispered. The lockers behind the boys exploded outward. Metal shrieked as one of them was violently slammed backward. His body crushed into the steel doors like a ragdoll. Another was hurled sideways, screaming as his back struck the wall. The third didn't even have time to react before an invisible force dragged him screaming into a locker, the door slamming shut with bone-rattling force. The hallway fell silent. Then, a presence manifested. Cursed energy flooded the space so thick it felt suffocating. Shadows twisted unnaturally as something massive unfolded behind Yuta. Riko Orimoto emerged. Her form was monstrous, limbs bent wrong, her face stretched into a grotesque smile that still carried echoes of the girl she once was. "Don't hurt Yuta." The locker dented inward again as the boy inside screamed. Yuta covered his ears. "Stop! Please, Rika, stop!" Her head tilted. The cursed energy wavered. Slowly, reluctantly, the pressure eased. The locker dropped to the floor with a crash. Silence followed, broken only by sobbing. Teachers came running moments later, and that was how it ended. That night, as snow fell softly outside the school gates, Yuta stood on the sidewalk with his bag slung over his shoulder. He wasn't going home. He didn't know where he was going, only that he couldn't stay. "Are you thinking of running away?" Yuta spun around when he heard a voice. Two students stood a short distance away, both wearing unfamiliar black uniforms. The girl had long hair tied back and sharp, observant eyes. She looked calm and steady. The boy beside her was different. He had white hair, pearly white eyes that seemed to see through him. He gave off the kind of pressure that seemed to say that he was confident in his abilities. Yuta Okotsu stiffened instantly. Rika's presence stirred, and the boy noticed immediately. "She's close," Yuto Gojo said quietly. Riko raised an eyebrow. "That's one way to put it," Riko Amanai said as she walked closer as if trying to inspect an animal at a zoo. Yuta Okotsu took a step back. "Don't come any closer." The boy didn't move. "My name is Yuto Gojo." The girl smiled gently. "And I'm Riko Amanai." Yuta swallowed. "You're like them, Jujutsu people." Yuto nodded. "Yeah, and I reckon you already met a few of them, huh?" Yuto said with a calm voice. "They were going to send the strongest to go after you, but..." Yuto paused and showed an annoyed expression. "He dumped the work on us instead." At that point, Riko Amanai giggled. "Well, it just goes to show how much Gojo trusts his little brother." Then, all of a sudden, Rika's silhouette twisted behind Yuta, cursed energy bleeding into the air. Riko shifted her stance slightly, but didn't draw her weapon. "We're not here to hurt you," she said. "We just wanna talk." Yuta shook his head violently. "That's what everyone says." Yuto's voice softened. "You don't control her, do you?" Yuta froze. "No." The word came out broken. "She moves on her own. She protects me, even when I beg her not to." Rika leaned closer, her voice rumbling low. "Yuta is mine." Yuto's eyes narrowed, not in fear but understanding. "A vengeful spirit born from love," he murmured. "That's rough." Yuta stared at him. "You're not scared?" Yuto met his gaze. "I've seen worse." Riko glanced at Yuto but said nothing. Before Yuta could respond, "Well, well," a voice chimed lazily. "Looks like I was right to send you two ahead." A tall man stepped out from the shadows, blindfolded, with his hands in his pockets. Yuta recoiled. "Who are you?" Satoru Gojo tilted his head, sensing Rika fully. "Wow," he said. "That's one hell of a curse." Rika roared, cursed energy surging violently, but nothing touched him. Satoru crouched in front of Yuta, smiling gently. "You must be tired," he said, "being protected like that all the time." Yuta's voice cracked. "I don't want this." Satoru nodded. "I know." He stood and gestured behind him, to the school gates in the distance. "How about instead of running," he continued, "you come with us?" "Why?" Yuta questioned. Satoru's grin widened. "Because I said so," Gojo said. Riko smiled. "And because you don't have to be alone." Yuto looked at Yuta seriously. "We'll help you learn to live with her." Yuta looked back at the darkness behind him, at Rika, then forward. "Okay," he whispered. Rika's presence tightened around him. "Yuta won't leave me." Yuta clenched his fists. "I won't." And so, the cursed child took his first step into the world of Jujutsu. Night settled over Tokyo like a shroud. From the highest spire of a half-abandoned office building, Suguru Geto stood with his hands folded inside his sleeves, gazing down at the city below. The lights glittered like stars, millions of lives moving, breathing and laughing, leaking cursed energy Cursed energy seeped from them in invisible streams, thick and aimless, polluting the air. Suguru exhaled slowly. So it's him, he murmured. Behind his tinted glasses, his eyes followed the trail of overwhelming cursed energy, still lingering in the distance, faint but unmistakable. A curse born not of hatred, but love. Below him, a lesser curse slithered along the side of the building, drawn to the ambient negativity of the city. Suguru didn't even glance at it. The curse dissolved, absorbed without ceremony. Non-sorcerers create monsters, Suguru said to the night, and then they cry when those monsters bite back. His fingers tightened slightly. This boy could change everything. A human capable of binding that much power without formal training. A living contradiction to the world Suguru hated, and the world he wanted to destroy. He wanted to create a world without curses, a world without weak, ignorant humans leaking suffering into existence. Far away, so far that no one should have been able to sense him. Yuto Gojo stopped walking. Riko noticed immediately. Yuto? Yuto didn't answer. His Byakugan activated instinctively, veins faintly surfacing at his temples, as his pearly white eyes locked onto something far beyond the cityscape. There was a presence, distant, refined, twisted in a way that felt familiar. Suguru, Yuto whispered. Riko stiffened. What? He's watching. Satoru glanced back at him, posture casual, but his expression sharpened beneath the blindfold. Are you sure? Riko questioned. Yuto nodded slowly. I can't see him clearly, he's too far, but I can feel his intent. Yuta Akatsu stood behind them, clutching his bag. Who's that? Do you know him? Yuto's jaw tightened. He used to be like a big brother to me, he said quietly, as Riko swallowed. High above the city, Suguru's smile widened. Interesting, he murmured. For a fleeting moment, just one, his gaze shifted and met Yuto's, not physically but spiritually. Suguru chuckled softly. So you can still see me? Yuto's chest tightened as cold understanding settled in. He's already decided. Suguru turned away from the edge, his robes fluttering as he stepped back into the shadows. Grow strong, Yuta Akatsu, he said calmly. The world will need you. The night swallowed him whole. Yuto let his Byakugan fade, breath slow and controlled, but his hands were shaking. Riko reached out, gripping his sleeve. Yuto? It started, he said. Satoru's voice was light, but edged with steel. Yeah. Behind them, unseen, Rika's massive eye opened and watched the darkness retreat. Tokyo Jujutsu High felt quieter than it should have. Yuta Akatsu stood at the entrance to the classroom, shoulders tense, fingers unconsciously gripping the ring on his hand. He could feel her, always, curled just behind his shadow, watching, waiting. So, a sharp voice cut in. This is the cursed kid? Yuta flinched. A girl with short black hair and glasses leaned against a weapons rack, arms crossed. Her stance was confident, her gaze sharp and unwelcoming. My name is Maki, she introduced flatly. Don't get in our way. Beside her, a tall boy with pale hair raised a hand slightly. Salmon. And I'm Panda. The large, oddly cheerful panda waved enthusiastically. I'm not actually a panda. Yuta blinked. Okay? Rika stirred. The temperature dropped. Yuto pat Okotsu on the back. See? That thing reacts to everything. Calm down, bro. Okotsu bowed deeply. I'm sorry. I'll try to keep her under control. Try harder. Maki snapped as Riko set her gaze towards her. Maki, give the kid a break. Before things could spiral further, Satoru Gojo clapped his hands together loudly. Alright. You can start bonding later, he said cheerfully. Yuta, you're going on a mission. Yuta stiffened. Already? With Maki, Satoru added. Maki scowled. Why me? Because, Satoru replied, grinning. You'll be the one to look after Yuta. That did not help. Then why not send Yuta with him? Maki exclaimed. Because I have a different mission for Yuto, as well as Riko, Panda, and Toge, Satoru explained. As they left, Panda leaned toward Toge. So I guess we're going together? Toge nodded. Bonito flakes. Elsewhere, Yuto exhaled slowly as he tightened the wraps around his hands. Riko Amane swung a length of chain casually over her shoulder, metal glinting under the light. Unlike Yuta, there was no hesitation in her movements, only readiness. You're thinking too hard again, Riko said. Yuto glanced at her. It's a special grade curse spirit. Who knows what might happen? Riko smirked. So, you've punched worse. Satoru appeared between them instantly. You two are on exorcism duty. It's a big one. And it's really ugly. Try not to level the block. No promises, Riko said lightly. Yuto nodded. Understood. The curse's domain was a condemned factory, its interior warped by malice. The moment they stepped inside, Yuto's Byakugan activated, veins faintly visible as his vision expanded. Cursed energy networks, structural weak points, a massive presence pulsing at the center. There, Yuto said. It's feeding on fear. The curse emerged, towering, grotesque, limbs stitched together by raw cursed energy. Its roar shook the walls. Riko flicked her wrist. Clink! Chains erupted from thin air, physical chains, solid and gleaming, whipping forward to anchor into the ground. Go, she said. Yuto vanished. He closed the distance instantly, palms glowing faintly as gentle fist strikes slammed into the curse's core. Each hit disrupted the flow of cursed energy, causing the creature to howl in pain. It lashed out, but Riko's chains snapped around his arm, yanking it sideways. Don't ignore me, she said, spinning her weapon as cursed energy flared along its edge. The curse adapted, its energy spiking violently, and then Riko stepped forward, her expression sharpened. Soul chain, something invisible connected. Not metal, not energy, soul to soul. The curse froze. Yuto felt it instantly. A tether deeper than cursed energy, something intimate and terrifying. Riko's breath hitched slightly, but she held firm. You've got 5 seconds, she said. Yuto didn't waste time. He surged forward, palms striking with absolute precision. 8 trigrams, his movements fluid and relentless. Each strike shattered the curse's core from within. The soul chain snapped. The curse screamed once, then disappeared. Silence followed. Riko exhaled shakily, rolling her shoulder. "You still hate special grades?" she asked. Yuto allowed himself a small smile. "At least it's less than paperwork." They both shared a quiet laugh. Elsewhere, far messier, as Rika loomed protectively behind him. The curse before them turned apart. Maki stared. "You didn't even swing," she muttered. Yuta swallowed. "I'm sorry," Maki sighed, lowering her spear. "Don't apologize." She looked back at him. "Just learn to control it," she said. And for the first time, Yuta nodded without fear. The katana felt heavier than it looked. Yuta Akutsu stood in the center of the training yard, both hands wrapped tightly around the hilt, knuckles white. The blade gleamed dully beneath the overcast sky, reflecting his own nervous expression back at him. "Relax your shoulders." Yuto Gojo circled him slowly, Byakugan inactive, hands tucked in the sleeves of his jacket. "If you tense up like that," Yuto continued, "you leak cursed energy everywhere. That's how accidents happen. Honestly, your control is sloppy." I'm trying," Yuta said. The cursed energy around him spiked anyway. Rika stirred. "Easy," Riko called from the sidelines, leaning against the weapons rack. "She's reacting to you panicking." Maki clicked her tongue. "You're not holding a life or death grudge, Okotsu. It's a sword." Yuta flinched. "Sorry." Maki sighed. "Stop apologizing." Satoru had given Yuta the katana that morning. "It's a conduit," he said casually. "If you're gonna flood the room every time you breathe, you might as well give it somewhere to go." The moment Yuta held it, the cursed energy stopped exploding outward. Instead, it flowed, not cleanly, but directionally. Yuto Gojo had noticed immediately. "You're binding Rika through it," Yuto murmured, subconsciously. Satoru grinned. "See? He's a genius." However, Yuto hadn't felt like a genius. Training was relentless. Yuto sparred with Yuta daily, not to win, but to correct. Every misstep earned a light strike to the wrist. Every uncontrolled surge of cursed energy earned a firm palm to the chest, disrupting his flow. "Again," Yuto said calmly, knocking Yuta off balance. Yuta hit the ground, gasping. "I'm sorry." "Stop apologizing," Yuto said, extending a hand. "You're learning." Yuta hesitated, then took it, and then they restarted. "Feel your energy," Yuto instructed. "Don't push it. Let it settle." Yuta closed his eyes. This time the cursed energy didn't scream. It hummed. Yuto smiled faintly. That's it. Weapon training was worse. Maki did not go easy on him. "Grip higher," she snapped, smacking his hands with the flat of her spear. "You're fighting like you expect the sword to save you." Riko circled him, chains clinking softly. "Don't overthink. Weapons are extensions of intent." "I have too much intent," Yuta muttered. Riko laughed. "Yeah, we noticed." She demonstrated, her physical chains snapping outward, wrapping around a target with precision, before retracting instantly, using her chains to grab an item from across the room. Control, she said, not force. Maki added bluntly, and if you lose your weapon, don't freeze. She kicked his legs out from under him. Yuta yelped as he fell. Get up, and so he did. He got up, again and again. Weeks passed, then months. Yuta's stance steadied. His wings grew cleaner. Rika's presence no longer surged violently. With every breath, she lingered, watching, waiting, but no longer lashing out blindly. One evening, after sparring, Yuta collapsed onto the ground beside Yuto. You don't hate me, Yuta said quietly. Yuto stared at the sky. No. Even after everything? Yuto closed his eyes. I've seen what happens when people are left alone with their power. Riko sat beside them, tossing Yuta a bottle of water. You're doing fine, you know. Yuta smiled weakly. You're just saying that. No, she replied. If we didn't think you could handle it, we wouldn't be here. Maki watched from a distance, arms crossed. He's improving, she admitted quietly to Panda. Panda nodded. Love makes people scary, but effort makes them strong. Toge raised the thumb. Salmon. One afternoon, Yuta faced Yuto again. This time, Yuta didn't lose his grip. He didn't panic. He blocked. The wooden blades met with a sharp crack. Yuto froze and then smiled. Good, he said. Yuta's eyes widened. Really? Yeah. Yuto replied. You're finally holding it back. Rika's presence pulsed softly, not violently and not desperately. It was just there. From the observation deck, Satoru watched, hands in his pockets. They'll be ready, he murmured. Somewhere far away, Suguru Geto listened and waited. And with that, the video ends here. We're gonna be continuing it in the next episode since it's getting kind of long. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like and subscribing to let me know you want to see more videos just like this one. Sorry about my voice today, I haven't been feeling well. And with that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.